Hey everybody, Avatan and Hybrid back again with another sick podcast. This time we're going through our Star Wars tier list. We're
Yeah,
gonna kind of go through this in chronological order, starting from the beginning. Hybrid, are you ready for this?
yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah,
Well, we got a lot of movies to cover, and there's a lot going on in these movies. So let's start with A New Hope. Young Luke,
incest wars.
incest wars.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of
I'm gonna rate it for the story.
yeah. It's because you can't you need to actually watch it. Um, yeah, no, I definitely agree. Um, it's decent.
I
Uh,
also don't think it's a bad movie.
no,
I don't think it's better than some of the later Star Wars movies, but
no, yeah, I
I
definitely
think for the
agree.
story, it's a good spot for it.
Yeah. What do you think about The Empire Strikes Back?
I liked it better than A New Hope, but I think it's still for the story. I don't think it's quite a yeah yet.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree with you on these older ones, just because you watch them to watch them. I feel like at least unless if you're that old time die hard Star Wars fan, they're good. I mean, I just feel like they would have been much better uh, if they were produced at a later date. You know,
Right.
because the stories were great, but they didn't have CGI back then. So you could only do so much with
They did a
how
lot.
things looked.
They did a
I
lot
know
back then with a
with what they
with a
had.
little. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So now we have Return of the Jedi. I
I'm gonna give that
actually,
a yeah.
I agree. I enjoyed that one a lot more than these other ones. It's kind of comical. Yoda
It's
makes me laugh.
climactic too, so it's the end of the three, and you would hope it'd be slightly better than the two before it. You know,
Yeah, I feel like Yoda. Um, this is one where Yoda just, I don't know, he just acts so funny all the time. All right. Let's go into the prequels. I actually watched these ones a lot more than I've watched the original three. Um,
right? I've
I
definitely seen the original three maybe two or three times each, and
yeah,
I've probably seen the prequels five, six times each.
yeah,
If that's not counting just the times I've seen parts of them. Um, I would definitely rank Phantom Menace is a hard one because the first half of the movie is so fucking boring to me, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
no,
Uh,
it definitely is. I mean, they're
but I think it's rated a yeah though, even with the first half of the movie
see,
being
I enjoyed it.
so fucking boring, bro.
To the pod, I
It's
love the
like,
pod racing, man.
it's like 2 hours, and the first hour of that movie is a drag for me, honestly. But I do rate it a yeah. The second half definitely. Um, we get our first uh look at modern take on lightsaber duels
Yeah.
in this movie.
Uh,
Um, one of the best lightsaber duels of all of the Star Wars series.
oh yeah. I mean, especially the 2v1. I mean,
Yeah, it's
um, it was great. It was unfortunate how it ends, but
yeah, a fight scene to be studied for sure.
oh yeah.
But yeah, the second half of the movie, it's good. There's war, conflict at the end of the movie. Definitely makes up for the first half. Jar Jar Binks, I hated him. He definitely
Everybody
was
hates Jar Jar.
he definitely was a large reason why that movie wasn't too great for me.
Man,
But yeah,
yeah.
I say that, but it still got a yeah. So imagine if they Took the annoying dude out.
Well, this is where you first get to see young Anakin too. So, I mean, from an early age, Anakin is, somewhat special. He does things that normal people can't do. So, next we got Attack of the Clones.
That's
What's your take on it?
I'll give that a yeah. Also.
I think so too. It's kind of my favorite of the three. Or favorite of the three. Episode 1, 2, and 3.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot going on in this one. A lot of action. You get a
I definitely
lot
like
of
it.
Obi-Wan.
It's I think it's no, I can't say it's the most action packed. The third starts with action.
Oh, I don't care about it. Like the way
The
the way that
what?
Yoda moves in the end of this is that's as much action as anybody needs right there. So it's
Fair
I
enough.
mean it would make up for no action in the rest of the movie because you really this is I feel like the movie where you really see what Yoda can do because you don't see it that often. And then there's other times where you see his force power, but in this instance, his lightsaber, his lightsaber game is kind of unmatched.
And he only fights a few times, yeah. And Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. I didn't hate
Oh,
it.
it's S class for me.
You
It's
like
Sith
it?
class.
This is
Yeah, it's Sith
this is your
class for
favorite?
me.
I mean, I'll throw it
Oh,
out there. I mean, I've definitely seen it, 10 times. So
it has the best duel in all of Star Wars.
yeah, Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's the best duel in all of Star Wars. I would say that the Phantom Menace um duel or 2v1 is up there as well, but I definitely think Anakin versus Obi-Wan. I saw it in the movies.
Yeah.
It was a very hype moment,
Oh, that's sick, dude. I mean,
But yeah, the movie as a whole, I think it was good. A lot of twists and turns that I didn't know, like Mace Windu getting thrown out a window. Uh, you knew this dude was gonna go to the dark side. You didn't know he was gonna kill kids, bro. The
uh,
youngling. No.
all right, so we got what we got next? Clone Wars.
Yeah. I've told you before. I think the Clone Wars is one of the best Star Wars media. So it's S class for me.
I mean, I've seen handfuls of episodes, but I haven't seen as much as you have. So I'll definitely take your word on that.
Yeah, I've seen all the Clone Wars multiple times, the Bad Batch. It definitely fills in a lot of the holes, the time in between the two movies.
Yeah,
It definitely makes Anakin's fall to the dark side feel like a gradual process. And I think I suggest this to you, watch the Clone Wars and then watch the third movie, and then you will have a new appreciation for the third movie.
okay,
Because instead of a angsty kid who just got grumpy and decided he was a bad guy, you get to watch however many episodes of Clone Wars
yeah.
is of him slowly becoming
It's 10 years of
a.
war that they kind of go through, right? So it's like there's a
So
lot
from
going on there.
right from that perspective, when you first watch the movies, it's kind of jarring how quickly he turns, and it makes him seem hyper emotional.
Yeah,
But when you add the Clone Wars in that time period and you watch the show, they do a good job of showing his petty annoyances, showing his frustration, showing him being upset, you know, showing him crying, grieving. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
And then when he finally does go to the dark side, you're like, okay, he's most certainly been working toward this because we've been shown it now.
yeah. All right, what about Rebels? Uh,
I started it but couldn't finish it. I've been told that it's really good. Uh, to be honest, I'm not a fan of the art style.
yeah,
That's what made
kind of turned off for you.
the laser pointer lightsabers threw me off.
All right, so what do you think? It's like not,
I'll leave that.
is it,
Have you seen it?
is it detrimental to the story? Like, is there a lot in there that like, or is it like,
No, I would put it in the same category as like The Mandalorian. It's a side story
yeah,
with some Ahsoka involved in it.
I
But
gotcha, I gotcha.
I hear it's good, but for me, it's a mad don't bother. I couldn't get into it. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I think I watched an episode and that was about it. So I also got The Force Awakens, this is right when Star Wars comes back to like you know, new new media. Um, even this is much different than episode 1, 2, and 3. You had a long gap in time before this one came out.
Uh-huh.
And it was good. Um, it's definitely not my favorite. Not my favorite Star Wars.
No,
But
not at all.
no.
Um, it's weird because I think the original movies were better,
Hmm.
but I would also put it in the fourth story. But I don't think it's the same as the new movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's exactly where I put it too. I mean, you watch it kind of once and because you need to see, you need to see it. But I don't
Right,
know
they're
if you need
both
to
in
see
the
it more than
fourth story.
once.
Yeah, they're in the fourth story for two different reasons. The other ones are in the fourth story because they're kind of old, kind of dated. Uh,
Man.
someone may have trouble watching a movie that old.
All right, so next on the list is probably my favorite one of the whole list.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
my
with
favorite.
with
I
Rogue
think it's
One.
I think it's one of the best Star Wars movies. Somehow, as being a one-off, it managed to beat all the other movies that are supposed to be continuations and epic. And this movie about random ass characters ends up being one of the best Star Wars movies ever made.
Oh, I agree. It was great. It was there's a lot going on, it was very suspenseful. Like feel like you're always on the edge of your seat. But it's a different
It,
type of movie, man. It's
it was a weird kind of suspenseful because you knew what was going to happen, but you didn't know how it was going to happen.
no, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. It's one of those movies like I felt watching it that nothing good ever happened in the movie. Like it was just progressively bad and everything it just got worse. Um, but it was very, very entertaining. You know, you get to see
Yeah,
a
for
lot of
sure.
things that you know, that you didn't know were there. Granted, they weren't there because they hadn't been written yet, but you know, you see, you see the gap in the message. You see the message, for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Uh, you see
It was a
how,
lot of effort for a tie-in movie, and it
yeah,
ended up being really good.
yeah, you see how Leia got the message though. All right, next we got The Last Jedi. Um, yeah, go right into for the story.
Yeah, for the story.
It was, it wasn't terrible. And while we're on that, we might as well put the Rise of the Skywalker in the for the story as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like the new trilogy is, uh, that's kind of where it belongs. They're good, just
They're
not as good
okay.
as not as good as not as good as episode 1, 2, and 3, though, in my opinion.
I think they're okay. I don't know if I could say good, mainly because lightsaber combat is worse than the
Yeah.
prequel.
Well, with respect to that, Ray was never properly trained.
I don't care.
No,
It's worse. Uh,
it definitely
the
was.
baseball bat swinging lightsabers, bro. Uh, the story was everywhere. There's a lot of production issues, if I remember right, and director changes and shit. If I remember right, the story was everywhere. They kind of pulled it together there.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think it's better than the originals. Like I said, I just think a person, if they were gonna get into Star Wars, they should watch all the movies,
Oh
all
yeah.
nine of them personally.
Yeah.
Um,
You definitely
but
do.
yeah, I definitely could see if a person only after watching all nine only wanted to watch the prequels. I wouldn't blame them.
All right, so next we got Solo, which is probably, it's so low on this list that I'm gonna put it down
I
here.
will say it's so low. It's probably the worst.
I tell you, it wasn't
It's
terrible.
actually the worst movie on this list.
It,
I'd say.
uh,
Not
I feel like if you accidentally watch it, it's okay. But you shouldn't plan to watch it. If you do it by accident, you can forgive yourself, and it's not terrible, but it has nothing to do with anything else in the whole Star Wars universe. Definitely not great. Uh, so we got some more cartoons, right? Star Wars Resistance.
oh, what that is. Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's going to the never watched. Not saying it's good, not saying it's bad, but it doesn't look like something I'd watch. So, all right, The Mandalorian.
I'd put that at a yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Hey,
agree.
Baby Yoda was pretty popular.
Yeah, Baby Yoda is. I mean, the crazy thing is, like, Baby Yoda's Baby Yoda, but he's 50 years old.
Yeah, right.
Like, infancy for
Yeah,
that
Yoda
race
Laden,
is
Yoda Laden.
oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
I just made that shit up, bro.
it's crazy. All right, Bad Batch.
It's gonna go in game.
All right, I don't know much about this, so why don't you let me know why it's a yeah.
It's kind of in the same vein as the Clone Wars, about random stories of these defective clones.
What's the time period?
Clone Wars.
So it's like the same time period as the Clone Wars. That's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I believe it's towards the end, if I remember right, of the Clone Wars.
Very cool.
But they're all clones, and they all have different personality quirks, and they're a bit different than their regular clone army counterparts.
Yeah,
They're rebellious. They don't follow orders, which gives them like a higher critical thinking skill level. So they're more able to be independent than a regular clone. A regular clone needs to be part of an army, and a regular clone needs to follow orders.
yeah,
And because of these guys' rebelliousness, kind of like a real life trait, they're good at also independent thinking. So they get sent on these special forces missions.
yeah.
But it's pretty good.
That definitely sounds entertaining. Different take on things too. All right, now we get to something called the Book of Boba Fett.
The book of Don't Bother.
This is kind of why I don't like reading because they're assuming this is a book. Um, so so
It was bad, bro.
yeah, it's not good. You know, I've said this before, but I can't take Boba Fett seriously. Ever since the Weird Al Yankovic song, um, Boba Fett playing a trumpet. Uh, yeah. Uh, Boba Fett is a meh. Don't bother for me.
I had trouble taking him seriously ever since his dad talked mad shit, then got his head chopped off.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And he was like, "Father, no!" Like, well, that's what you get for talking shit.
Scarred for life.
He got his arm cut off, if I remember right, and his head at the same time.
Yeah. Just slapped himself in the face with it. Shit. All right. Well, next we got Obi-Wan Kenobi. What do you think about Obi-Wan?
I think it's a yeah. I liked it. Other than Leia being a brat. Um,
Well, you knew that she was. She's always been a
she's
spoiled
a
little
fucking
princess.
brat. She's a brat the whole show. Like I would have enjoyed the show much better without a brat child in it, personally. But I liked it. I
Could
liked
see.
the Obi-Wan versus Vader fight.
Yeah.
Um, it
Yeah.
shows again that just even though Vader's supposed to be stronger, he just cannot beat Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan
Yeah.
just knows all his tricks.
Yeah. I mean, Obi-Wan is just, it's his master when it comes down to it. Obi-Wan taught him everything he knows.
And he's more craftier than Anakin. Anakin has always been a little crafty, but a lot of brute force. And Obi-Wan has always been a lot of crafty with less brute force.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to the next one. Andor. Have you seen Andor?
No, I haven't.
I have not either. I actually almost pressed play on it the other night. I didn't realize that apparently the guy's name is Andor.
Really? I thought that was the name of the planet.
At least I think that's what it said in the in the preview I was reading. But it's like it starts off way too like dark and like it wasn't upbeat enough for, the night I was watching it. So
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm definitely gonna be giving it a look here soon. So I'm gonna put this in under four of the story for now, and it definitely could be moving up. I've heard great things about it.
Me too. I also heard it doesn't have any lightsabers in it, which is why I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next thing we got I'm gonna do these two together. We have what is this? The Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Empire. Um, Personally, I'm probably gonna leave them in Mad Don't Bother because they don't really have much to do with any of the main storylines in Star Wars. Um, they're not a terrible watch though. Well, at least the Empire. I haven't seen any of the Jedi. I've watched a few episodes of the Empire, and I'll probably finish out the season. What caught me with the Empire is the trailer was fantastic. It was way better than the Jedi one, which made me want to watch it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. The other one here is this Young Jedi Adventures. We're gonna put in Mad Don't Bother. It's a kid show. If you're under 8, you'll probably enjoy it a lot. Has nothing really to do with Star Wars or like there's no main story in it. It's a kid show. If you have kids, you'll enjoy it.
Every time I see that, I just think younglings and Anakin and younglings and Anakin, with his, murdering of the younglings.
Yeah, this is a little different.
You sure he doesn't make a cameo on like
uh,
episode 2,
Not that I know of, at least.
Revenge of the Younglings?
Oh man. All right, let's get into Ashoka. Have you seen Ashoka?
I started it. It's not bad so far. It failed to make me want to binge it.
So
It wasn't that good, but I would say for the story, for sure.
yeah, I haven't started it yet. It's on my to watch list. So I definitely should be doing that soon. But it's gotten really good ratings. I mean, people seem to like it. you know,
That's good.
and it's
Yeah,
Anakin's Padawan,
Ahsoka's
so
yeah, Ahsoka is a fan favorite character, so
yeah. No, I'll definitely give it a watch. Last but not least, we have the Acolyte, which you and I personally have a little bit of an attachment to it. Um, so I think it really pains us to have to do what we have to do here.
and meh, don't waste your time.
Yeah. Um,
YouTube, the fights were really good. They're probably on YouTube
yeah.
by now. So if
You,
not, you can watch those specific episodes where the fights are in.
yeah. I mean, the story wasn't bad. It was good. It was different. Give you a lot of different take on a lot of things, but you know, they canceled it and we're never gonna get closure. So meh, don't bother.
Right.
You know, I always waste too much, invest too much time into it because, you know, you're left on a cliffhanger, you're left not knowing things, and
Like
you're,
18 cliffhangers.
yeah, most likely you'll never find that out. Man. Uh,
They could do something really cool. I saw someone suggest that they like finish there's Star Wars comics that they could finish it in, you know?
yeah,
Like that'd be a cool idea. Or an animated series that's a little cheaper on the budget, you know?
you're like an you're either that or like an animated short story of some sort, or I think on the
Right.
animated side, that would be the that's probably the way I would go to finish it. It's definitely cost effective.
Way
Um,
more cost effective, yeah.
yeah. And then you would, you know, you could salvage some of what it is. Maybe even just turn it into an animated series.
Right.
It might be too dark for that, though. I don't know. You know, animated series usually they tend to lean towards, you know, the kids of certain age groups, you know.
True. But there are rated R animated series and those are shit. The X-Men 97 series was dark.
Yeah.
And it's the continuation of the X-Men 90 the X-Men series from the 90s. They used to come on Saturday mornings. And
Yeah.
I most certainly would not put this X-Men on a Saturday morning rotation.
I don't even think they do Saturday morning cartoons anymore.
Oh, they don't? Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
cartoons are pretty much on demand now. So
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
yeah, with DVR and Netflix and you know all the multimedia platforms they have now. So everything is you know, point and click.
Fair enough.
All right, everybody, that's gonna wrap us up here today. We had some fun.